And you're listening to the MIR Radio Internet Network, and you're listening to Gary Anderson and my son Kevin tonight. We're going to be talking about motorcycles on a show called Motorcycle Talk. Hey, Kevin, what's up?
Hello, everyone. This is Kevin Anderson, and I'm happy to be on the network tonight. How are you tonight, Gary?
Well, Kevin, I think we had another malfunction again tonight. I guess.
I think we're okay, though. Can we keep the show going as well?
Oh, we'll try. Anyway, yeah, that's my fault
rolling
this time because you know what? It was my fault. I didn't have the. I had you on mute.
You had me on mute. How am I still on mute or
no?
Are we still talking?
Oh no, you're not on mute at all. Hey, you know, I've been thinking about places to go this summer for a road trip. Have you been given any thought of any places exciting to go to on a road trip?
California, man. That's where I want to go. I want to go to San Diego. That's where I want to go. Just for a short road trip. Just roll down there, maybe stop by San Francisco and, all those.
Okay, well, boy, I can barely hear you. You're talking so quiet.
I know, right?
No one else is going to hear you either. But, I'm thinking about what I want to do is head off Spokane. Then from Spokane, I want to actually go stop this time. Because every time we go, Kevin, we've gone to Reno. Guess what? We go past Crater Lake. We never stop at Crater Lake. And, when I was a little kid, Crater Lake was such an awesome place when you're little to go see. I mean, it's this lake down this volcano, whatever.
Volcano.
Yeah. And down there's like a little island and stuff. It's really neat. It's one of the deepest lakes in the country.
Nice. I've never been to Crater Lake, or I might have been to Crater Lake. I'm not really sure, but it sounds really nice, and we should stop by there next time we go on a road trip.
Well, too, when you make that trip and you start off from like Seattle or Tacoma, wherever, but where we start out is from Gig Harbor, then we end up going through Tiger Mountain on I-90 and then hit Spokane. What I really like is when you get up to Spokane and after, actually, I take that back, Yakima. Oh, where is my brain tonight? When you get out of Yakima and you go probably about another 50 miles, then you start hitting all these beautiful canyons. And if you're into twisties, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better place to ride twisties. I mean, miles and miles of real sharp twisties.
And there's not that many police around, too. So if you enjoy speeding, you can just speed all you want. And I like speeding when I'm on road trips, and I just like passing certain things my dad likes stopping to see, just like Crater Lake. I'd rather just go past it and get to my destination instead of...
Well, you know what? It's been really a bummer.
Time.
A bummer, because every year we do the same thing. We get on our motorcycles. I have a camera. I have all this stuff, and I think I'm going to get all these great pictures, and go on this road trip. And then, boom, we go past this place. Boom, we go past this place. Boom, we go past this place. And, I come home with maybe 8 or 9 pictures. Well, this next summer, I'm telling you, I'm going to stop and get a lot of video and a lot of pictures.
See,
we even went past some real awesome ghost towns we could have in Oregon, Eastern Oregon, we could have actually rode to and seen some really awesome things. But no, we get on the bike and we have to go fast as we can to get to point A to point B. Why? I know rush at my age.
Well, that's the thing. You don't speak up, and when you don't speak up, we don't know what's going on, so we figured, okay, let's just keep going. And most riders that don't ride as much, or beginner riders, and when they ride with groups, they're too scared of speaking up. So they just go with the group, and if they see something cool, they just ignore it and, you know.
Well, my philosophy this year is, and I don't know if Ricky is going to go with us or not. I don't even know if you're going to go, but I'm telling you, I'm going to stop this year and get a lot of pictures. And
You're
if people
gonna
don't
get a
like
lot
it,
of pictures.
I'm going to get a lot of pictures. And if you don't like it, you know what? Just keep on going, and
I
will meet
did-
up with you sooner or later.
Well, I did that before when we were in California and we were heading back. We got into that little argument, and I just went off and left, and I left and we got separated for about 6-7 hours.
Yeah, and that was actually really good too, because
Yeah, it was good.
I really
get
enjoyed.
away from each other for a while.
Yeah,
It
we
was
needed that
nice.
after about 2 weeks out on the road.
Met up in like Oregon, I think.
Yeah, and you know what? I kind of enjoyed it. Then we went down to the Oregon coast, and then again, there's a lot of twisties on the Oregon coast on 101. That's what I like about it. It's just how can I say it? If you're really into twisties, go to Reno. But I'll tell you one thing: after you get out towards past Crater Lake, you go into California for maybe about 90 miles on the world's worst road. I swear to God, Kevin, you couldn't go 2 feet, and there was a huge pothole on that road. And if there wasn't a pot road, it was so uneven pavement on the blacktop. Yeah, you just shook like you wouldn't believe.
You took the wrong road. Apparently.
Well, no, actually, that was the only way to go from where we were at. I mean, the way that was that or Interstate 5, and I'm not going to ride it all the way out to. I rode back on I-5 each time. That's no fun. I mean, what do you see? Nothing. You go the back roads, you see old ghost towns, you see old communities, you get to stop and talk to the people. And that's one thing too, Virginia City. I want to spend a night over at Virginia City and just enjoy everything. And since I'm doing another show called Night Dreams, which is a paranormal show, I am going to go there. I'm going to go to the cemetery late at night. I'm going to take my recorder. I don't care what you and whoever is with us, you can stay in the motel room and watch TV.
Well,
I am going to see if I pick up any ghosts on my recorder.
You're gonna go to Virginia City and pick up ghosts with your recorder.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
When do you plan on doing that?
Well, I plan this year to take off probably around June and head out, or maybe in April, and head out for about 2.5 weeks. Because last year, my whole summer was ruined. I had to chauffeur somebody to work back and forth. I don't have to do it this year. This year, I'm going to be actually just, free to ride. And last summer is the least riding I've done in a long time. And I tell you, it was a real bummer. So, and then I want to spend a little bit more time in Reno. I want to go to Carson City, see some things I didn't see. And then I'm going to be prepared when we go through the desert, because I'll tell you, last time we went through that desert, I tell you, with not enough water, it was murder. And that was like, I think around, that was like the middle of May, I think, the last time we went through. And the desert was still pumping around 115 to 119 degrees.
Yeah, it was pretty high in temperature. I think the highest recorded temperature was 129 on my phone. It was pretty hot, and I think I was burnt all over my body because I took my shirt off for a little bit just to see if I'd get a tan. And when I came back to Gig Harbor, boy, I was burnt.
Well, one thing too, like the year before that, I rode the Honda, and the Honda was so much nicer because you didn't have the problem, the heat. I tell you, the Harleys, I tell you, they're so freaking hot that I don't know what to say. I mean, I besides getting sunburned really bad from the road trip going through the desert, man, my legs were burnt so freaking bad from my motor on the Harley. That's one thing I don't like about the Harleys. I don't even care about the new ones, because some of my friends have the 2017, and they're still saying it is hotter compared to Hondas or Kawasaki's or Yamahas on the temperature of the motor. So, I mean, you got to take that consideration if you're riding through the deserts and stuff like that for long stretches, because I tell you, I could have taken a TV dinner and put it on top of my motor, the heads of my motor, and rode it for half an hour, and I would have had a nice cooked TV dinner. That's how hot that was.
Yeah, my bike, it's really hot, and my bike gets really hot, and it's only a 2012. Yeah, it's a 2012 Electroglide, and
Yeah, you found the same thing. It got hot. You know, one thing too, people need to consider this too. If you're going to go on a long road trip, you know, I hate to say it, if you have a spoke wheel bike and you get a flat, you're stuck there, and you could be stuck. Like when we were going through that desert, it was like a half an hour sometimes before I seen a vehicle go by. You know, and it's pushing like 100 and some odd degrees. And I'll tell you one thing. That's why I like Meg wheels on a motorcycle and tubeless tires. You carry a patch kit in your bike, and you carry a little mini compressor. Don't buy that. You're wasting your money, seriously, to go buy these CO2 cartridges because they gouge you on the pricing. Buy yourself a compressor. They're very, very inexpensive. You plug it in where you plug in your trickle charger. You can then pump up your tire, and that way if it starts going down even after you patch it, you can sit it out and do the same thing over and over again. So, you know, that's some of the things you have to consider. Hey, if you hear any strange noises, we got a little dog here running around in our studio, and it
I
doesn't
do apologize for that.
Yeah, it doesn't like running and being in the studio at the same time we're talking.
Yes, and so about the wheels and everything, and about the compressor, so I've actually had a flat tire when I was riding down to the casino one time. My front tire blew out, and there was a truck. Yeah, there was a semi-truck behind me, and my tire, it blew out. I didn't know what to do, so I started slowing down. I managed to get off the freeway, but I didn't know who to call. My phone was dead, and my bike was still running, but I couldn't go anywhere because literally my tire was off the rim. So what I did was I had an extra battery for my phone, so I put that in. I called the tow truck, was like, "Hey, I'll give you $100. Can you tow my bike?" Got it towed, paid $150, got a new tire, because it was a tube tire. I wish it was a tubeless tire, then I could have patched it myself, or with a compressor, like my dad that's talking, that my dad over here that's talking about having a compressor and
well, yeah, I really feel like if you're going to do any, Kevin,
pops.
if you're going to do any road trips at all and do any distance on a bike, you're crazy not to have a patch kit and a compressor. Like I said, the CO2 cartridges, you get like one or two of them or three of them. They charge you $29 for them, and you get a couple plugs. Well, what happens if you don't get the plug in right? And
what about a fix-a-flat?
Well, that's no good because that's liquid that you're putting in your tire. It throws it out of balance. Then,
it's just only meant for trying to get to where you need
but
to go.
have you ever seen Fix a Flat? Really?
Yeah,
Fix a Flat?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it work, but
I have never seen it last very long.
It was only for temporary use. I mean, it's not gonna get you very far.
Well, I sure
miles.
wouldn't trust using Fix a Flat on my motorcycle wheel and go, maybe 20 or 30, 40 miles. It's not going to hold.
Well, I'm just
it'll be
saying,
empty.
like, if you have nothing, like if you have nothing else, if that's your last resort, that's something you can turn to.
Well, that's why I said, if you're going to go on a road trip,
Always
and you have the
prepared.
expense of going for a road trip for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, get a compressor for $30-some. I mean, that's in a patch kit for like $6 or $7.
Save up for the road trip. Be prepared. Buy little things at a time. Like, if you got a road trip that's coming up 6 months from now, buy small little things and prepare for it. Buy the compressor now. Buy the patch kit 2 weeks from now, and just slowly buy the items you need.
Well,
for the road trip. Don't buy everything at once.
Well, not even just a road trip, Kevin. You realize too,
but always be prepared, though.
Yeah, well, like on my bike, I have, during the summertime, I see all these Harleys and Hondas and Yamahas off the side of the road, and the reason why they're off the side of the road is they probably got a flat tire. Now, you call up the average place that's going to tow your bike away. One, you risk getting your bike damaged because they're not gentle with your bike.
Well, except the last tow truck driver that towed my Kawasaki away because it popped on the freeway. He was actually pretty good with my bike, and he